first and foremost is feeling like what I'm doing is for me or from me and feels natural. I never want to feel like, artists go through those things like, oh, what's my radio record? Oh, what's my, you know what I'm saying? We feel like there's certain lines that we have to kind of fall into. And for me, I think that's the hardest part is the politics part of it, because I'm such a feeling type of person. So for me, I'm all about how it feels, and I just want to make sure that it's genuine. And if that's just even something that I write for myself, or if it's in collaboration with someone else who's helping me record the record or produce the video or whatever that may be, I think my main focus, first of all, is, is this naturally coming from you, and what's the message? Because I definitely have songs where I just write songs about like feeling confident and like talking my shit or whatever, but especially with the next project I'm working on, I'm like, what are you trying to say? And I think that's really the most important thing for me, is making sure that it's still natural and still coming from myself, even if there's certain guidelines I feel like I have to fall into, but also feeling like I'm not just saying stuff just to be saying stuff. Like I still want to feel like I'm saying something out there that somebody can resonate with, and that's what's really important to me. Yeah.
I like that. So, your favorite genres in writing you spoke on, and musical influence you spoke on earlier.
Yeah.
What is your spiritual influence?
Ooh. Man. My spiritual influence is, even though I feel like I struggle with being true to self, I think like my spiritual guide is just not wanting to do anything that comes from anyone else. I never want to feel like I'm doing something just because someone else may want me to do it. Kind of like the same thing with my goal in my music. Spiritually, I just be at a place where I just want to do what's best for me and what feels right for me, and that's kind of like my guiding force, is tapping deeper into like self-realization, manifestation, and just coming from a place of like appreciation for the art form. I think that's what really guides me spiritually. And a lot of times I'll be like, and no matter what I do, you want to be good at what you do. And I'm like, I want to be the best at what I do. I want to be included with the best. And it's not even have to be about like money or competition in a sense. It's more so about the quality of it. And I think that guides me a lot too. Just being in tune with myself in here, so that whatever I do produce on the outside feels good, it feels natural, and there's nothing that I feel like I have to go back and, it's like you were at a place where you really weren't doing that for the right reasons, or you were at a place where you just weren't right mentally or emotionally. So I always want to make sure spiritually that I'm just at a place of, this is for you. I have a tendency to get distracted and let other influences get into my head. So I always want to make sure that like what I'm doing in here is coming from a place of peace. I want to make sure my chakras are aligned. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing for me, because I feel like sometimes I can let the outside influence me so much that my spiritual guide is to just stay tapped into me and stay tapped into like what my core beliefs are. And like I said, that's like the self-manifestation, the realization, and staying true to the art form, and why I even wanted to tap into this in the first place. And the people that I'm inspired by, why they tapped into it into the first place, and how much they want to keep the culture moving forward.
Sounds like staying grounded to me.
Yeah. And as a water sign, it's hard to stay grounded to earth. It is difficult as hell.
Raising hell.
Raising freaking hell. Shout out to all my Scorpios. But like, that should be hard, man. But
absolutely. What do you want people to remember about Cvla? Like after they experience you?
Yeah.
What do you want them to remember?
I want them to remember that she definitely works hard at what she does. Like I I for the first time was kind of sharing with my coworkers like that I rap and stuff like that, and she asked me, she's like, so you write your own music? And I was like, yeah. Like, I'm very adamant about making sure people know, like, everything that's written comes strictly from me and directly from me. And I think people are surprised when I get on stage because they be like, oh, she has this little smile and she seems so, like, whatever. But once they see me, I want them to be like, oh, she's serious. Like, she's serious. She does not play with her pen. She's really out here trying to make a name and build. And that's what I really want people to know when they see me, like, oh, okay, this girl ain't nobody to play with on that mic. Like, she's that girl. She's serious about that. So that's really a big thing for me.
I like that.
Yeah.
Impression. So as an MC, as a leader, as a black woman,
right? Exactly.
Like
exactly, and especially like topic wise, because even though we have this huge influx of women in rap right now, I feel like it's all kind of sounding the same. As far as, because you got your Megs and your Cardis and your Mulattos, and don't get me wrong, these are women that I listen to that are in my playlist. But as far as what I write and what I put out, I definitely, it's different. So, and it's hard sometimes. Like, I had someone coming to me, they'd be like, oh, it's crazy because, like, you sexy, but you really be rapping. And I'm like, yeah. I don't even care about that, the sex. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care about that aspect of it. But I really be rapping. And that's what I want people to know. To the point where now, like, at my shows, I've coined the thing, like, real rapping bitch. Because I'm like, yeah, bro, like, I really be out here doing this. And regardless of who people may see me around or what influences they think might come into play, like, trust me when I tell you, like, anything that is done or written by me or comes from me is 100% from me. So yeah.
I can take that.
It kind of reminds me of, like, getting the behind the info, like when Queen Latifah wrote, like, Ladies First with Moni Love, and how she was saying, no, we're women who are here to actually rap. Like, this is what we do. And do it sometimes, or majority of the time, a lot better than the men. And I wouldn't say being better than the man is necessarily my angle, but I want to be in that conversation.
As an MC.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Just in general.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, I got sauce too.
Yeah, even to the point where I had to get comfortable with how I looked on stage. Like, when I first started performing, I would be in jeans and a hoodie, and because I really wanted people to make sure that they paid attention. Only recently have I got more comfortable with, like, being myself and being a little bit more feminine with how I be, like, on stage. But I definitely wanted that to be clear, like, from the beginning. So I was like, I don't want y'all to be distracted by nothing but these words. So I'm gonna walk in here with my t-shirt on, my baggy t-shirt, and my jeans and my boots. And maybe some lipstick if I'm feeling whatever. But outside of that, like, this is what I want the focus to be. I'm still adamant about that, but I did have to be more comfortable. But because I am a feminine woman, I do like that aspect of me. And I don't want to feel like I have to choose. So now I'm in a place where I'm kind of comfortable with both sides of that. But I definitely, in the beginning, was like, no, like, I need y'all to, like, hear me. Like, are you listening? Are you actually listening?
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Same.
Sitting with you and speaking about, learning more about you as an artist and an MC and a creator, cultivator. I'm looking forward to what's next.
Same.
And experiencing those things. I would like to let the people know where your music, where they can find you at.
Yes.
And connect with your art at.
Yeah. So, my music really, it's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify, any music platform. You do have to pay attention to the name and the way it is spelled. So for those people who are having issues, you can go to my Instagram page, which is KUHLIA25, and it has links and access to all my music. But outside of that, if you do want to find me on these platforms, you have to type in KUH_LEE_UH. I did that. It started off as an accident when I was uploading my music to DistroKid, the platform. I didn't want to, I was like, how do I want my name to be on here? And I just didn't want it to be how I normally spell it. The regular spelling of my name is Kalia, Kalia. But there were other artists or other producers under that name too. So I wanted it to be different, and also tie into the fact that, you know, being black, when you have a name that isn't, you know, Jasmine or Rebecca or something like that, you know, it's harder for people to know how to pronounce it. So that was always an issue for me growing up. People will always say my name wrong, even now to this day. So the literally spelling it out like how it sounds is how that came into play, because being a black girl and having those moments where you feel embarrassed or awkward in class where they're like, Kalia, whatever, and I'm like, it's Kalia. It's Kalia. So that's really where that tapped into. When I first put it in there, I was like, damn, people might not know how to find me because that is kind of difficult. But after I did it, I'm like, I'm glad I did it that way, because so that way people can know, or if they ask me why, I'll be like, well, you know, there's a little bit of background behind that, and just that ties into my experience as like being a black person and being a black woman. So from the beginning, when you look me up, you're already tapping into like a part of me as a person and a part of how that affects me as a musician. So yes, KUHLEEUH, all platforms. My music page on Instagram is KUHLIA25. I have all my links up there as well, if that's easier for y'all. Thank you, Mvtha Cvla, for having me. It's been an honor to be on the couch. I feel initiated now. And yeah, there is definitely more to come. So y'all stay tuned for sure.